Welcome to Democracy 2.0 with Wayne Bouchard as our resident. Well, you're actually the host. I'm the co-host. I just ask questions and you give all the answers. This is Malcolm Presents is a new, actually not new. It's about a year and a half old, 2 years old. It's a new streaming platform on the internet. And basically it presents shows that no other people are talking about. So come to us, it's malcolmpresents.com on a 24/7 basis. Anyway, welcome, Wayne.
Good afternoon, Malcolm.
Yeah. So anyway, obviously that today is Thursday and what happened, when was it? Monday or Tuesday, the shooting?
I'm not sure,
but it seems like it's been with us forever. One shooting leads into another.
Yes, I think it was 8 days between the shooting in Buffalo and the shooting in Texas.
Yeah, but it seems so much more pathetic when the shooting is in a public school and you have, I don't know, probably like you also have been watching TV, the last few days. And you see the pictures of the kids. I mean, they're so innocent. They're so pure. There's one girl that has a picture of, her holding, she earned some sort of certificate, an award. I don't know what it was for, but I mean, she is beaming and her parents are beaming.
Oh, it was actually that one. There was one boy who was had a certificate for making the honor roll. That he got about an hour before the shooting started.
Yeah.
So, oops, I got a message up on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing that strikes me, Malcolm, other than the fact that there were 8 days between these two shootings in Buffalo and in Texas, is that the United States is probably the most powerful and most successful, most economically advantaged nation in the history of the world. And yet we rank so poorly in terms of our ability to care for our own people, our own citizens, and in particular, in this case, children. And in the case of the shootings in Buffalo, minorities that are being singled out because of some wild ass conspiracy theories. We continue, and this has been going on for years and years and years. We continue to allow these senseless killings and mass shootings to go on. Why? And when children are involved, the U.S., I think statistically, the U.S. has more deaths by gun violence, twice as many gun deaths by gun violence as all of the developed countries in the world.
Yeah, well, we have more guns than any of the countries of the world.
Correct. We rank 28th in the world in our healthcare. And we're riddled with hunger and poverty. What the hell are we doing? Where are we? Where are our resources going astray? And this is not a Democratic Party problem. It's not a Republican Party problem. This is an American problem.
I agree with you totally.
There's plenty of blame to go around. We can blame the legislative branch of government, the judicial branch of government, and the administrative branch of government. But pointing fingers at one another is not going to solve the problem. But if there's one thing that I know and believe because of all the years that I've been on this planet, and I've seen the things that we can accomplish when we put our minds to it. We can solve this problem.
That's the problem. We can solve the problem, but we're not.
If we just put aside our grievances, and Republicans and Democrats come together to save the children. You know, that's what we're here for, to save the children, to save the next generation. You know, delay is not an option.
Right. Well, the whole thing they're arguing now, they say, well, people do it. How do you prevent the people from the person from doing it? You really can't, because there are crazy people in the world, and you can't monitor the whole thing. But what you can do is prevent them from buying guns. And we're not anti-Second Amendment. People who have guns, who use it for hunting or even for protection, let them have it, but let them be licensed where they have to pass a certain test to buy a gun. They have to be, in order to have a license, you have to show that you have a proficiency in knowing how to use the weapon. Like you drive a car, you have to have a license to drive a car.
And insurance.
And I don't know about, and in California, New York, you have to have insurance. I don't know if that's national.
It's supposed to be national.
Yeah, but for the life of me, where an 18-year-old kid could buy a gun without registering it, without any interviewing process, with finding out why he's buying the gun, to see if he knows how to use a gun. I don't understand that.
Malcolm, you mentioned the Second Amendment, and I am not opposed to the Second Amendment, but I would almost guarantee you that 95% of the American people don't even know what the hell is in the Second Amendment. They don't even know what it says. It's one sentence is the Second Amendment. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Period. That's it. Total. So I did a little research, because of this is one of my pet peeves. What is the definition of a militia? It's part of an organized armed force of a country liable to be called upon in emergencies. For example, the militia was called to quell a riot. It's a body of citizens organized for military service. And it further goes on to say, I looked up the word militia. The militia of the United States, as defined by the U.S. Congress, has changed over time. During colonial America, it was all able-bodied men of a certain age range were members of the militia, depending on each colony's rule. This is colonial America. And then the year before the U.S. Constitution was ratified, the Federalist Papers detailed the founders' paramount vision of a militia in 1787. The new Constitution empowered Congress to organize, arm, and discipline the national military force, leaving significant control in the hands of each state government. Today, as defined by the Militia Act of 1903, the militia is used to describe two classes within the United States: the State Defense Guard and the National Guard. And all members of the National Guard are also members of the organized militia of the United States, as defined by code such and such and such and such. That is the definition of a militia. Those guys can have guns. It doesn't say that every bloody person on the planet is entitled to own an assault rifle. Assault rifles are designed to kill people quickly.
Kill people during wars.
Assault rifles are not used by hunters to kill deer.
No. Yeah, I mean, assault rifles were developed during the wartime to kill as many enemies as possible.
And this particular assault rifle, the AR-15, is not even designed for the military. It's designed for people like you and me to go out and blow stuff up. It's ridiculous. It's a why would you own one of these things?
Because when the Civil War comes, we would be prepared. But the thing that I get aggravated about also is that we have, let's say, even in Congress, we have in the Senate, we have 50-50 about, 50, it's about even. I think 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans. There's not one Republican that believes in gun control.
No, because they're afraid to. They're afraid to, and you know exactly why they are afraid to come out in favor of gun control, any kind of gun control, whether it's background checks, licensing, assault weapon bans, any kind of gun control, or any advocation of regulating guns is going to mean that you are going to get a poor grade by the NRA, the National Rifle Association, and you're not going to be one of their favorite sons or daughters anymore.
But again, it's because it's the financing of the election is election is money.
We're back to the same thing, campaign finance.
Right. So there has to be a way. We tried that. What was it? Citizens
United.
Citizens United.
Corporations are people.
Right, and you can, and the corporations could put unlimited funds into the election.
Correct.
Plus, which I love is when the names that they give to the different organizations that contribute. The People for a Better Government. You don't know who they are.
Right, and they keep their identity as secret as possible.
Right.
The New York Times reached out to all 50 Republicans in the last 2 days, and they asked them what their stand was on the bills that are before Congress. I think they got 3 Republicans who said that they were still, they were still undecided, but somewhat positive. 3. And I think they got 2 that said absolutely not, and the rest of them were still thinking about it. Like, what's there to think about? Come on. You guys are getting paid a hell of a lot of money to do your job. And if I told my boss I was still thinking about something 2 days after, a horrific event like that, I'd be fired.
What I get turned off about is when, something like this happens. And then you get the anti-gun control people say, and the people who want gun limitations, they come out and then the anti people come out. Oh, they're using this as a political,
Senator,
it's politics. Let's feel sorry for the people. Let's not feel sorry for the people. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again.
Right. Prayers and sympathy are not solutions. We need actions. Senator Cruz yesterday said, and I think I'm quoting him now, we shouldn't be politicizing this issue.
Right.
Well, what the hell should we do with it? It is a political issue.
Right.
It's a political issue. It involves the Congress, it involves the courts, and it involves the administrative branch of government. It is political. That's how we solve problems in this country, by political solutions.
Right. And there's something that can be done. It's not that it's hopeless.
Right.
And not that I'm a genius, but it's so obvious.
Nor am I.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that every American should go on the internet and Google a militia and find out what a militia is, what the Second Amendment says, and then tell me that they have a right, an unlimited right, to own as many weapons as they want of any caliber. You know, why couldn't I own a tank?
Yeah, or bazooka.
Yeah, howitzers. You know, give me some nice toys to play with.
Yeah, I mean, a good cannon could be, very popular, especially in certain neighborhoods.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It's a screwed up world, and again,
I'm just beside myself.
yeah, and the majority of the American people, they say, are in favor of it. So I recognize, you don't buck the the NRA, but this is getting to be a mite ridiculous.
Who the hell is the NRA to sentence, 19 children to death because of their stupidity?
Right.
Who are they? Show themselves and tell me that they have the right to do this.
Well, I think we should talk to the people that are members of the NRA, not the governing body, but people who are NRA members. They're not trying to take away your guns. They're not trying to prevent you from hunting.
Then they convince the public that whoever is behind this, and the last time it was Hillary Clinton who was behind this main effort to restrict access to guns, so Hillary's trying to take all your guns away. No, I am not trying to take all your guns away. If you are a hunter or a gun collector, you should be able to have guns. Right. You should be able to pursue your hobbies. But to just have these things lying around so this kid was 18 years old. I wouldn't give a mentally stable 18-year-old, the valedictorian of the high school, I wouldn't give him an assault rifle.
Well, I wouldn't give anybody that. I wouldn't give you an assault rifle. There's no reason for you to have an assault rifle. Okay, a rifle, yes, you're a hunter, right? Even a handgun, because you want to protect your house. But an assault rifle? This is ridiculous.
You'd be pretty safe if I had the assault rifle, Malcolm.
I
wouldn't be able to turn it on.
I don't know about that there.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for you to have it. There's no reason for anyone to have it unless he's in the military and he's fighting a war.
Correct. And they get different types of.
Yeah, well, whatever. But there's a reason for that type of armament, but not a hunter, unless he wants to go and kill all the bears in existence, or with one round of shooting.
Well, they'd have to be all gathered in the same place.
But the thing is, who I blame in a way is our Congress, is the people who are following the so-called people that we elect that's supposed to lead us. The word is leaders, right? We elect people to lead us. They're leaders, and they're leading us down to hell.
Where is the leadership? That is a good question. Where is the leadership?
It's not there, and for the life of me, I can't see why the Dems don't do away with the filibuster. I mean, the filibuster started, in the days of segregation, and so the southern states, could block legislation, but. And they could change it again. So the Dems were the ones that are against it, like Manchin, said, well, when the Republicans, come in, they could change again. Sure, they can, but let's get some legislation in now.
You can be almost guaranteed that in the next election in 2022, if it goes according to, what the polls are indicating, this year's election, congressional election, the Republicans will take over control of both the House and the Senate. And if they win the presidency in 2024, they will get rid of that filibuster so damn fast and pass every piece of legislation they've been waiting to pass for the last 25 years.
Right.
Including making abortions illegal for anyone. nationally. So you won't be able to travel to places like, the so-called blue states.
What you'll have to do is go out of the country. You'll have to travel to Canada, and it'll be a boon, I think, for Canada. I don't know what Canada does. Canada, and I think Mexico has legalized abortions.
I think Canada's probably ready to build a wall to keep us out.
I don't blame them.
Yeah,
But,
I might be able to sneak in because of my last name.
Well, but can you speak French?
No, but I would learn quick.
Right.
I used to, but I, don't now. But I would sure as hell brush up quickly.
Okay, switching the topic a little bit from gun control. What do you think about that there's supposed to be a conference of North America states that it's in Washington, I think in June, and now we're facing boycotts because of I think we were trying to exclude Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua because they're almost dictatorships.
Well, they're commies.
Yeah. And or not even commies. I'm not sure what a communist is. They're dictatorships, basically. And but also now Mexico is threatening to boycott. Brazil is threatening to boycott.
Malcolm, there's an old saying. You keep your friends close,
Yeah.
but you keep your enemies closer.
Right.
Cutting your enemies off and not talking to them is absolutely the most foolish form of diplomacy that anybody could ever engage in. You need to be talking to these people. You need to be talking to North Korea. You need to be talking to Cuba. And Cuba, look, come on, what is Cuba? Cuba is a pimple on our butt.
Yeah. Well, the only dangerous thing about Cuba was during the missile crisis.
Yeah, but that was how many years ago? 1960.
1960. Well, and that's because there wasn't long range intercontinental ballistic missiles. Now they do, so you don't have to have a missile,
Right.
next to you. You can have a missile in Korea that goes to us.
Right. Not inviting these people is just it's just foolish. Totally foolish, and it's kind of Bush League democracy.
Well, Bush is another story.
Bush League diplomacy, I should say, not democracy. Bush League diplomacy, and I never thought I would welcome back W in a heartbeat.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, compared to Trump.
Oh, compared to Trump, yeah, but not in comparison to the Democrats. Yeah, to me, if Obama was allowed to do what he wanted to do, I think it would be a much better world. Especially with the healthcare.
Yes.
I look around at healthcare and I see such a patchwork.
Awful.
For even people who can afford it, but there's no. I'm a member of Kaiser Permanente. At least when I go there, they have a continuous records of what I'm doing, what I'm taking. I have friends that go to various other patchwork groups, and they always have to tell the doctor what medicine they're taking,
right,
or what they're doing with the other doctor. I can't see why there's one payment system where we could go any place.
We have the most sophisticated communication systems in the world. And it's really the entire planet has it, not just us, but
yeah,
we're part of it, and we have been the innovators of these communication systems. And why don't we use them? There's no reason in the world why I have to fill out the same damn form every time I go see a doctor. No reason.
Yeah, it should be on file.
It should be someplace on the internet where they can go access it with my social security number.
Yeah.
And then they have, free reign of all my information. I am like you. I belong to the Atlantic healthcare system. and they have everything, and they send me an email and say, you have an appointment in such and such a day, check this stuff and make sure it's okay, and send it back to us
Yeah.
if anything changes.
But what I find horrendous is, let's say I have some sort of one disease or one malady. I cannot go to the best group that knows how to fix that knows how to tend to my malady.
Mhm.
If they're not in my healthcare system, if they're not part of Kaiser, if I cannot go to UCLA, which might have the best doctors there, because
Mhm.
I'm not covered. I cannot go to Sloan Kettering in New York, for my disease, because I'm not covered. So I'm sort of limited. I don't know why I'm not covered with one group and covered with another group.
Should be able to go anywhere.
I should be able to go to the best doctor available.
Correct. Correct.
And they're specialists.
Malcolm, we have the best hospitals and the best doctors in the world, bar none.
Right.
Yet we rank 28th in terms of healthcare in this country. Why is that? It's because our system is screwed up, not because we don't have the resources available to us. It's because we don't have a healthcare system. Every other developed nation on this planet has some form of national healthcare.
Yeah, I mean, if we had national healthcare, well, I believe then I could go to any hospital or any doctor
Right.
that basically is a specialist in that area, or has. I mean, there might be a waiting list. If the doctor is really proficient in one area, a lot of the patients are going to be tending to go to him. But now I can't, even if I was on the waiting list, because I'm not covered.
Right.
And they were doing this, they were supposed to be doing this survey. I don't know what happened to it. That, for different procedures, one hospital charges one thing and another hospital charges another thing. So if you go for, an electrocardiogram, one hospital charges one thing, one charges another thing. Or if you have to have an operation, appendix, one will charge you $5,000 and the other one will charge you $10,000
Right.
for the same procedure.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
And why do they do that? Because they can.
Right. Did you see 60 Minutes on Sunday when they were talking about the chemotherapy treatment for children
No.
with some form of cancer? The
Yeah.
drug companies, are negotiating with some middleman for the hospitals, and the drug companies decided that they weren't going to make this particular drug any longer because they couldn't make a profit on it. So they discontinued it. And you've got hundreds and hundreds of parents around this country that can't get the right drug to treat their children for their cancer. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that is another horrendous travesty of our system. Fix it. God damn it, fix it.
Well, that's why we supposedly, that's why we elect people. We elect the senators, we elect the Congress, because they're leaders as we go back. But nobody's leading.
They're followers. And they're looking for more money, the easy way out.
They're looking for the next election.
Yeah. Well, they're so focused on this year's election that they can't think straight.
Well, the thing with senators, at least they're elected for 6 years, but with House of Rep, the reps are elected 2 years. I think we covered this. By the time they're elected, when they get into office, that next day they're seeking money for the next election.
Right.
And basically, you're talking a lot of the, especially the national, they talk about media, the TV. I don't know why the TV is allowed to charge politicians for their commercials. There should be the top politicians, the top group should be entitled to a certain amount of free time. Why? The American public, the country, own airtime.
Right.
Every year, TV, I know it's every year, every few years, TV and radio stations have to apply for a license to use the air that the American public owns. If we own the air, why can't we reserve time for politicians?
Oh, we could.
But now we don't. So now the people with the most money can, pollute the air with their own commercials. And the commercials aren't checked out. I mean, they can say anything they want. I mean, we have now.
Yeah, and most of them, or a lot of them, start mouthing all these conspiracy theories, and you don't know which end is up after listening to them. So you turn them all off.
I mean, sometimes I listen to certain things, and in my mind, I begin to question: Are they right? I know intellectually that they're not, that they're spreading false words. But emotionally, sometimes I question myself.
Malcolm, ask yourself this question. In the last 150 years, who has brought the most positive spin on legislation to the floor of the House and the Senate and in the White House in this country?
The president or a politician or a senator?
Politicians, political parties. I mean, look at the things that we have as a nation that are advantages for us.
Well, going back, one of the original ones was, FDR.
The New Deal.
The New Deal.
Yeah.
And the New Deal is a socialist program.
The New Deal is a socialist program. The New Frontier.
Yeah.
Let's take all the resources of this country and roll them together under executive order, and we're going to put a man on the moon before the end of this decade. What the hell did that take? And you can't sit there and tell me that we can't do something.
Right.
We can do anything we put our mind to.
Yeah, but what we can't do is extend a half hour to an hour. I mean, I wish I could. We'll have to do a time capsule, but our time is up.
I've lost faith in you, Malcolm.
I would think about compressing time. And again, which I get confused at, they talk about the wormhole in space. And I know that sort of like takes you to another dimension.
It expands time.
Yeah. So maybe I'll try to work with the wormhole, because I know we just discovered a new one.
Okay.
But anyway, Wayne.
Great.
I will speak to you next week, and hopefully we don't have to, there's not another disaster, but.
Oh my God, I'm not sure I could take it.
Yeah.
I had a couple other things I wanted to talk to, so I'll roll them over for next week.
Okay, keep it. Send my love to Meg. I'll speak to you later.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.